Welcome, everyone. Hope you've had a good Saturday. A sports-free Saturday. It's so strange, isn't it? Strange to me. Although we did have a little bit of sports news in that Rick Pitino got hired by Iona, I think it is. So, yeah, a little tiny bit of sports news sneaking in on us there. All right, while everybody is getting in here and getting settled, we are going to go over some information and just get everybody on the same page before we actually start ripping. So first up, my feedback is automated on eBay. Anytime you leave positive feedback from me, you are instantly going to get the same in return. And of course, the other thing there is a big thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. We're going to take a look next at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to start just a hair later than normal, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. Yeah, I forgot to get the listing up on time. So that's why it's a few minutes later. And we're going to open a case of Impeccable Basketball. On Monday night, we'll open a 20-box master case of Panini One Football. Tuesday night is a half case of Heritage Baseball. Wednesday night is Leaf 2020 Leaf Draft Football Platinum Hobby Blasters. Whew, that is a lot, isn't it? I keep forgetting to put the draft football part on there, but that's what it is. And here's how that's going to work. Spots are going to be sold by the first letter of the last name because, of course, these guys haven't yet been drafted. All of the autograph hits in this particular product are packaged individually. So that's what we're going to open in the break. We're not going to open all the packs that we know just have base cards in them because, well, they're just base cards. So instead, I'm going to send each person a stack of sealed packs. How about that? So that's how that's going to work. On Thursday night, we will open the back half of the case of Donruss Baseball that we're starting tonight. We're going to finish it on Thursday night. Okay, now we need to take a look at shipping. So this one, it takes a really long time to sort and prep for ship, an incredibly long time. And as such, I'm not projecting it to get out the door until Wednesday. If I can get it out the door to you faster than that, of course, I will happily do so. But it really is a monster to sort and ship. And here's the other thing. Everybody in here is going to pull cards of some sort. So we don't need to worry about consolation cards in this break. Everybody will have cards coming out for their team. And that's what we'll be shipping to you. So it is an 8-box, half case of, 8 case, we'd all be fossilized, wouldn't we? An 8-box, half case of 2020 Donruss Baseball. This is break number 3. It is the start of a new case, and this ended tonight on eBay the same night we are breaking it, which is Saturday night, the 14th of March. And team names are on the left-hand side, winning bidders cross from each team there on the opposite side. And normally, when we open a full case, or when we open a new case, but we're not going to break the full case at once, I will take all the boxes out, number them on the end, let random.org determine for us which ones we open now, which ones we open later. But since there are 16 of these, which is a lot, I'm going to let you guys help me decide, okay? So those of you who are watching, jump into chat, and we're going to take the first 3 responses, and whoever has the majority out of the first 3 responses, left side of the case or right side of the case, is going to determine which one we open tonight, the left side or the right side. Now, the other little thing you may have noticed there while I was telling you about that is that your background got blurry, and that was intentional. I don't want you to worry about that. We're still going to be able to see our cards up nice and close and personal. Hi, JP. Hi, Gil. JP is weighed in as to what side of the case he's thinking. So, Gil, jump in with your thoughts, and then we need one more person because it's going to be the best out of 3. And, hi, Kiko's there too, says left-hand side, and Gil also goes left. Well, he says southpaws, but that's left. All right, an unusual majority. Everybody going left. Oh, there came David. David said right. I said majority a second too quick, didn't I? But yeah, it looks like the lefts have it tonight. Let me get this switched around so I can see which side is left. All right, and we're going to get our boxes out of here. Well, if I can get this very last one wedged in there. Okay, let me get the second part of the case set out of the line of fire, and then we'll get underway. Kiko, you're a lefty, so you went left. Well, that makes sense. You know, I am not straight up either left or right-handed, nor am I entirely ambidextrous. So some things I can do with either hand, but not everything, which would be truly ambidextrous. And there are a lot of things that I'm left-hand dominant with, but there are plenty of things I'm right-hand dominant with also. Like I play most sports left-handed, I bat left-handed, I golf left-handed, although I haven't golfed in years and that sort of thing, but yet I throw right-handed. It's really a mess. I don't know. Something got crossed up in my brain, I suppose, when it came to left-handed, right-handed abilities. And some things I can do either hand, like bowling or throwing darts and things like that. Do either hand. All right, so we are looking for 3 autographs or memorabilia cards per box on average. So on average means basically this. Every once in a while, Panini will mess something up and not give us all the hits that we are expecting to see. That on average is a little CYA for them. The other thing that can mean is that sometimes one or more of our hits might be replaced by a Panini Rewards Point card. And if that happens, then of course we will use random.org at the very end of the night to give those out. Any points cards that we might find. All right, so what else can I tell you about this product? There are a ton of inserts in it, an absolute ridiculous amount of inserts. In fact, there are almost as many inserts as there are base cards in this product these days. So you can expect that we're going to see a lot of them. As we go through this first box, we'll take a little bit longer looking at them, but then in our subsequent boxes, in the essence of getting out of here while we're all still sane, we will not necessarily stop and, you know, front and back chat about some of these things that are numbered to $9.99 and $5.99 and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we'll do. A little bit extra time here at the front so that everybody becomes familiar with what's in here, what we're looking for, that sort of thing. And then speeding it up a little in subsequent boxes. Daniel, what did you say? What'd you say? You said this tree 20 case. I am confused. I am very confused, and I know I should probably know what you're referencing, and it's maybe it's something in response to something I said a while ago. I don't know, but you gotta help an old brain out here. Help a tired brain out, and you gotta fill me in on that. Because I will tell you this, guys. First of all, there is a little bit of delay in chat. From the time you type it in to the time it pops up on my side, there is a bit of a delay. The second thing I can tell you about it is I'm not always looking over there to look at chat. Sometimes I'm glancing over periodically, so sometimes it might even pop up and it still might be another minute or so before I see it. So I have absolutely no idea, Gil, if I have seen the Omar or the Lefton autos. I swear to you, I have spent what feels like the last 10 years of my life sorting Donruss and Heritage, and I couldn't tell you what came out of either one of them. I just know they both took me, all of them took me forever to get out the door, but I don't know. Oh, the 20 case Contenders optic break from last night. And what were you asking about it, Daniel? Were you in that one last night? for the Contenders Optic. It was a pretty good break. There were definitely some nice things that came out of it. Okay, so here's the good news. All of our stuff that is numbered in here is numbered on the front. So you'll see that's a high numbered one to 650. Another thing I'm going to point out, see on the edge where that white is? Yeah, that is your coating starting to peel off, that hollow foil coating. And unfortunately for all of us, that hollow foil coating does have a nasty tendency to come up at the edges, just like it did on that card. So beware of that. Even sometimes it may not be super visible as we're going through, but when you get it, you'll see it and think, oh yeah, I remember she told me to expect that. Numbered to 100, there is a Trey Turner for the Nationals. We're going to find loads of those as well, and others similar to it that will be high numbered. Well, that's low in comparison to some of the numbered things in here, but certainly we like them to be lower numbered than all of that, don't we? Oh, Daniel, no, that break was last night. We always break the same night that it ends on eBay. Yeah, so that was actually last night's break, but it should be up there for you to take a look at. It should have posted to eBay last night shortly after we finished up. All right, so this is unique in the sense that we have a prospect on the front. We have an active player on the back. They're both USA Baseball, but I don't list separate categories for USA Baseball in this product. So what that means is it's setting up there in housekeeping. At the end of the night, we will use random.org and we'll figure out if it goes to the prospect side or if it goes to the other side, the veteran player side. And we'll talk more about that when we hit that time of the night. This one's a slightly lower numbered insert, and it's Bo Bichette, the rookies. It's to 149 for Toronto. And there's another little Bo Bichette behind it. He's in here quite a bit, as you might expect. High numbered hollow foil to 600, to 650. The little white cards in there are blank on the front and the back, but I do generally try to flip them over just so we can make sure nothing is stuck to it, because occasionally, well, things do get stuck to them. So the best way for us to know that there's nothing stuck is to just flip them over. Aristides Aquino. This is a high number to 999. So like right now, because we're in the first box, we're taking more time to look at that. In subsequent boxes, when they're numbered high like that, I'm only probably going to flip them sideways, let you look at the number on it, and I won't even necessarily read it out, and we'll kind of keep on trucking. Otherwise, we would be here a very, very long time just due to the number of inserts and numbered cards that we have, and those being pretty high numbered. Our first hit out of our first box tonight, it's Patrick Sandoval coming out for the Angels. Dax Kenzie, you said, do I send empty packs with the damaged cards? I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, you mean if you want to have Panini replace that? I think they replace that without you having to have the pack. And pretty much every team is going to have damaged cards in terms of if you're talking about that hollow foil edge. This is numbered to 100, Nolan Ryan. In what I have seen so far, and by the way, that Nolan Ryan is for Houston. You know, he's played for different teams. Does note that one is Houston Astros on the card. In my experience, virtually every team will have at least one hollow foil card that is going to have the edge of it peeling up, because that's just how they are this year. Actually, frankly, that's how they are most years, but this year, maybe a little bit rougher than some years. Numbered to 349, Javi Baez for the Cubbies. But in my experience on the base cards like that, I mean, I've never had Panini give anybody any trouble whatsoever about replacing a damaged one on a base card, although frankly, you're just as likely to get one back that has hollow foil peeling up on it as you are to when you send one in. It's just an unfortunate side effect of the printing process on this particular card set. Happens almost every year. But if you, I don't really think you do have to have the pack. I don't recall that in the past, having to have the pack. But, you know, if you want to send me a message and remind me, I can try and lay one out for you if you have one that belongs to you. But I don't really think you need it. The last time I sent damaged stuff in, which was actually like hits and heavily damaged stuff, I didn't have to send in a pack. So, I don't know. Max Fried for the Atlanta Braves is our second hit out of the box, another autograph. Because, I mean, obviously they know if you have, you know, you have the card, they don't, honestly, they never even required me to send in stuff when I had a personal box that was missing hits. And I said, hey, this is missing hits. And all they had me do was send in a code that was on there. I didn't even have to send anything in for that. Number to 500, Gary Sanchez and the New York Yankees. But anyway, if you just remind me, send me a message and I'll print it out and put it with this. So when it comes time to sort it, I will gladly send you one. All right, there is an Acuna and another pretty high numbered one to 249 for the Braves. We've got one more hit left to find in this stack that's in my hands. This is where we should find it. That one for the Pittsburgh Pirates is numbered to 400. And see, aha, see, one stuck to the back. That's how they do sometimes. That's why we like to flip those little bad boys over. Numbered to 500. Where is our other hit? Well, did they not give us another one? No, we got only two. So you remember at the start when I said sometimes they like to do a little CYA and that's why it says on average? And I said every once in a while they'll leave something out, but that doesn't happen too often. Well, I guess it just happened to us right now because we only have two hits. I'm quickly shuffling back through here just to make sure there's no card stuck to another card. Like, in other words, did a hit get stuck to the back of something and we didn't see it, I didn't see it or feel it. So I'm just double checking that very quickly right now. But I really don't think it did because I'm pretty mindful of that when we go through. But hey, you never know. So I'm double checking it right now. Stranger things have happened, of course, than something getting stuck to the card in front of or behind it, but usually it's not the hits. And nothing so far. One more little chunk to look through here. Jay Allen said, did you miss any hits? I'm trying to find out if we if we missed a hit entirely, Jay Allen. Only two came out in this box, and I'm just quickly going back through our full stack here to make sure that the third hit wasn't somehow stuck to the back of something and I didn't feel it or realize it or nobody else caught it or I let it slide through or something. I don't really think that we did. I can usually feel if there's something stuck to the back of the other one, but I am double checking it because we do only have two. So, searching. And no, we don't. That was it. We just got two. So we got gypped out of box number one. But the Angels and the Braves came out, but just two hits. So minus the other one. And we had, was it this product, guys? You might remember, Jay Allen. There was one product where we were supposed to get, I don't think it was this. It was maybe plates and patches or something. Where we were supposed to get a certain number of autographs and a certain number of relics, and they flip-flopped it, and they gave us more relics and less autographs, but the correct number of hits. But this time they only gave us two hits. So, David, you need some Bo Bichette in here. I just now saw that. Sorry, overlooked that before. So, yeah, we're going to try to find you some. I like that kid, too. And Jay Allen, you've got the Rockies and the Orioles in here. All right, my friend, we will work on Rockies and Orioles for you. Was it plates and patches? Okay, yeah, see, I couldn't remember. I knew it was something we opened within the last few, I don't know, maybe within the last 2 months, was it? Recently, anyway. Because I didn't catch that either going through live. I was just kind of mentally calculating the hits out of the box, and somebody said, I don't think our hit ratio is right. And I was like, really? I think it was. Because I wasn't paying attention to what came out as much as I was, did all of our hits come out? And so when I went and looked back through, yeah, he was absolutely right. They had screwed up our ratio. Made us all unhappy. Oh, there were definitely some numbered, there was definitely a numbered Bo Bichette in there for sure, David. Yeah, for sure. We stopped and talked about it out of the first box. It was fairly high numbered, but there was a numbered Bo Bichette in there, yeah. I don't remember what it was numbered to, though. J.P. Crawford, first hit out, headed to the Seattle Mariners. And now keep in mind, or at least I thought you had a numbered Bo Bichette in here. I think you do. But keep in mind that in this part, going forward, unless something is very low numbered, I'm not necessarily going to stop and show you front and back. We're not going to even necessarily call out the numbers, but I will flip it in whatever direction it needs to be turned so that you can see how it is numbered. And then if it's low numbered enough, we'll stop and spend a little time with it. There's a Brendan McKay, Tampa Bay Rays. It was to 141, so reasonably low numbered. And I guess the first time we have seen, is that the first time we had seen that rated rookie hollow foil tonight? Surely not, but maybe. Maybe. There's just a ton of cards in this break. Now, seeing that one was a rated rookie, but it's to 434, so they're all over the place in terms of numbering in this product. To 100 for Montreal Expos, it says on there. So as a reminder, former Montreal Expos, the team, are the current Washington Nationals team. So cards always stay with their franchise. So any Expos that we pull will go to the Nationals. That's our first, what I would call low-numbered parallel, and it is Josh Hader for the Milwaukee Brewers, numbered to 25, quarter-century mark. Hopefully we'll find a few more along those lines, as well as our others in here, which might be a little higher numbered as we go through. So here's a now playing insert. This is Brendan McKay. It's fairly high numbered as well, but you'll notice the number on that one is at the top. I believe it said to 349. We will find plenty more of those too before we get finished tonight, I imagine. Had to have a little water break. I'm taking some allergy medication because, believe it or not, it has already started with my allergies. I don't think they really ever went away. It never got super cold here for any length of time. We had a few really cold days, but we didn't have any extended stretch of cold weather. And I think it didn't kill a lot of things. And a lot of stuff is already up and blooming. In fact, a lot of stuff is already up and blooming here, flowers-wise, and even some shrubs and trees budding out, the whole deal. But at any rate, that and the fact that we have got warmer weather and rain, my allergies are geared up. So I took some allergy medicine, which I usually do, but for whatever reason, it seems to have given me the worst kind of dry mouth today. I don't know what the deal is. So this is about to make my night very happy. This is the Dream Team Ken Griffey Jr. How about that, kids? For the Mariners, that is a hard-signed, on-card autograph for Ken Griffey Jr. and the Mariners. And I love Ken Griffey Jr. And so, yeah, that's a sweet hit. I like that very much. Very, very much. So whoever chose the left-hand side of the box, I think everybody did, save maybe one person. So whoever has the Mariners, you owe a debt of thanks to all those folks that chose that side of the box, or that side of the case, I should say, because that is a sweet little hit. Another high-numbered hollow foil. Jay Allen, you said it looks like fine yellow snow outside your house with all the pollen. Yeah, I know. I've got pollen. It sticks to everything, doesn't it? It sticks to your car. It sticks to just, everything. Always that little, it's like a little yellow furry coat is what it looks like. In Elite Series, this one is numbered to 99, Mookie Betts for the Red Sox. So not ultra low, but obviously lower than many that we find. That was to 100. For, was that Hunter Renfroe? Yeah, it was, I think, Hunter Renfroe. There's a little Dustin May for the Dodgers. Jay Allen, you think that's why they shorted the other box because of the Ken Griffey being in there? Well, you would think they would short it out of the same box, though, wouldn't you? I mean, you would think that would be the box they would hose up, the one that had Griffey in it, not the other box. But at any rate, they definitely did hose up the first box. But at least it was the relic that they left out and not autographs. Mookie Betts for the Red Sox with a relic. Speak of the devil. I mean, I know it always says autographs or relics, but I don't know that we've ever had a box that had 3 autographs. Sometimes you get 2 relics and 1 autograph. Most of the time you get 1 relic and 2 autographs. And as we saw, occasionally you just don't get a third anything. But that's not very often. Well, this was a nice box. We got a whammy in here too. And that is Albert Pujols for the Angels. That is largely considered a case hit, though Panini does not technically identify it as a quote-unquote case hit. They just call it an ultra-rare insert, but it does come out of most cases. Every once in a while, one won't present itself, but usually it does. And every great once in a while, you might even find an extra one in a case, but generally speaking, you're going to find 1 per case. Aha, you've got the Mariners in here. I'm going to butcher your username, Kensetsu. Kensetsu? I'm sure that's totally wrong, and I really apologize that I just butchered the pronunciation of your YouTube username. But that is obviously your Ken Griffey, so yay, congratulations. I love Ken Griffey, Jr. and Senior, so love them both. Yeah, Jay Allen, I agree with you. Of course, I've got asthma as well, so I agree with you. This is a terrible time of year. Springtime always is for allergies and asthma and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think I must have I may have accidentally taken my allergy medication twice. That might be why I have extra dry mouth. I don't know. Because I thought that I took it last night, but then I found a pill like laying there from where I had taken them out of the bottle, and then I couldn't decide because I was taking another pill at the same time, had I taken everything I was supposed to take. And that one was just an extra one that fell out of the bottle, or had I really not taken it to begin with? So I just went ahead and took it. I figured, well, you know, if it's twice as much, it's allergy medicine. It's not going to kill me, right? But that might be why I have excessive amounts of dry mouth today. I don't know. Maybe. Jay Allen, you're selling all your Bryce Harper autographs? How come? He's your guy. Why are you selling all of his autographs? Yeah, Jay Allen, singular. I take singular too. Yeah. You've taken that twice before. I probably have too at some point or another. I have I don't know, several things I have to take between allergies and the asthma and the RA. They load me up with stuff every night, so sometimes I just lose track. But hey, it hasn't done me in, so I figure, it's all right. Not gonna hurt anything. Not really gonna hurt anything. But I am definitely going through the water today, I will tell you that. Which I guess it's a good thing that I shop at the Warehouse Club and I buy water by the case, because along with toilet paper and hand sanitizer and disinfectant and anything else along those lines, it is all long gone from the shelves around here. So good thing I buy it by the case anyway. It's a $2.49 Rizzo in the Cubbies. But it's just crazy, everything that's going on with all of that. And everybody's cities are the same, I think. I heard about some place in California that before Costco even opened this morning, they had 200 people outside the doors waiting to get in. And when they opened the doors, they just told them right as they opened the doors, we don't have anything that is disinfectant or hand sanitizer, and we don't have any toilet paper. That was the Rockies to 100. And that's at, like, Costco, man, where they have zillions of everything. So, it's been crazy. Probably going to stay that way is my guess for the foreseeable future. So that one was numbered to 119 for Hunter Dozier and the Royals. We should be, of course, getting ready for Selection Sunday tomorrow. So I am just super sad. We have no tournament, no Selection Sunday. It's the right thing to do. I know it's the right thing to do. I don't disagree with the decision. But man, am I going to miss it. Makes me very sad. I love my March Madness so much. They were showing replays today of various just random games from years past. I kind of wondered what they were going to plug into some of these holes that would have been tournament coverage, and yeah, they just had some random games on. I don't know about all the channels, but on some of them anyway, they did. So that Acuna, you probably saw it there on the bottom, was numbered to 999 down there in that bottom right-hand corner. Eloy, White Sox, Eloy Jimenez with the classified, and it is numbered, looks like to 99 is what it says over there. So nice Eloy for the White Sox. You're probably looking for Robert, but probably not too unhappy to have Eloy either, right? Comes another hit for the Angels. And that is Matt. Is it Thace? I say his name wrong constantly. So, at any rate, he is an Angel. And it is the second autograph today for the Angels. Another USA Baseball. So, like our other one, we'll just put it right up there in housekeeping. We will deal with all of those at the same time at the end of the night. Another little Gina, I was talking about you yesterday. I was talking about your team and how you guys were probably so disappointed that the tournament got canceled since it was going to be your highest seed ever. I thought about that when they canceled the tournament. I was like, oh man, because I knew how much you were looking forward to that. And tons of other people in a similar circumstance. Maybe it's the first time their team had gotten in, or the first time in a long time, or the lowest seed, or whatever, and everybody's so bummed about it. Number to 75, Eduardo Escobar for the Diamondbacks. So there's a couple we've seen that are sub 100 now. Not a ton, but a few. So I didn't forget about you, Gina, and your team, and I was feeling bad for them. It's numbered to 600. I still can't believe that anybody hired Patino again after everything that happened. Of course, it is a smaller school, and I mean, I guess they've got less to lose proportionately. That last was to 400. And much more to gain, I guess, as well, but I just think he should have been under a show cause for a long time. Justin Verlander, Houston Astros, our relic. But the NCAA, I guess, is going to let the man coach, so he'll be coaching at Iona. And so I guess those guys have some stripper parties to look forward to, among other things. So if you're, everybody's like, oh yeah, Iona's about to be a lot more fun to go on a recruiting trip to Iona. Oh man. Jay Allen, you've been watching the XFL games. Is that what that says? What does that say? Yeah, XFL. I haven't watched too many of them. I tend to forget that they're on. I'll just be blunt. That's what happens a lot of times. But then I do go back and look at some of the highlights and kind of catch up on it that way. But I don't remember to watch them live most of the time, which is bad. But I just never got in the habit, I guess. But I'm sure they're going to come back. They seem to be enjoying more success than the AAF did, or was that what it was? No, maybe it wasn't AAF. I mean, what was it? Yeah, no, that is right. Alliance of American Football. I don't know. I always thought it was strange, and I never could commit it to memory, but I think that's right. Anyway, XFL seems to be enjoying a broader support and putting a better product on the field, so I would imagine that when things gear back up, you won't have any problem seeing XFL again. Be it next year or whenever. I don't think this will put them under, in other words. Yeah, Gina, hey, I'm just catching back up on chat. Yeah, they did hire Patino just today. It was announced that Iona hired him. Of course, when he couldn't get another job in college basketball, he went over and coached in Greece for a season or so, and I guess came back with his hat in his hand, basically just trying to get a job anywhere, and little Iona gave him one. Who knows what they're paying him? I hope not much, but they probably are. I don't know. The guy just had his hands in a lot of things that were shady, it seemed like. So I think they should have had him under a show cause penalty. But anyway, they didn't. Gina, I don't guess that we are going to break the XFL cards. I didn't order them. You have to order that stuff so far in advance because it's Topps. Last year, I had ordered the AAF cards, and we did a break or two of them, and there was just zero support for it. I mean, yes, some people bid on it, and I appreciated those who did, but it was, as far as what I would call successful, that's numbered to 99. That's Moncada for the White Sox. It really was not. In fact, oh, well, that's nice. That looks like it's been run over by a truck, doesn't it? Looks like truck tire, like a little miniature truck ran over it. Instead, it probably got caught on a printing press and got some ink streaks across it or whatever, but that is how it looks out of the bag, kids. So that is unfortunate, but your insert there for the Cubbies, Javi Baez, is a little worse for the wear. And there's another one to 100, Buster Posey, Giants. But anyway, Gina, so yeah, it didn't do well. I lost a ton of money on it. Not money that even would be within the acceptable loss, because I do have a range of what I would call acceptable loss. Nobody likes to lose money, but it happens at times when you're breaking. And it even fell outside of that range. So when it came time to order XFL, of course, there's no product on the field yet, and everybody's just kind of thinking, is it going to turn out to be just like AAF? So I did not order it. And then they start playing, and it turns out XFL's, well, kind of fun. Okay, so this is high numbered to 650, and another example of one where we have got the hollow foil coating peeling off of that. It's for the Yankees. And once again, as a reminder for those of you who might have jumped in part of the way through, that is an ongoing issue with the hollow foil cards all year. So even if I don't catch it going through live every single time, you can expect that probably somewhere in the cards that you get that you're going to have one or more of those hollow foil cards where the edge or the paper is going to be peeling away from the edge. So it's just, unfortunately, it's part of the set, and maybe more so this year than in some years, although you find it almost every year. To 100, that is Madison Bumgarner. I'm never going to get used to saying that, for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, I'm just forever going to look at him and automatically start saying Giants, but nope, Diamondbacks is his team now, and that was what was reflected on the card, so that is where that one will head. Our relic heads to the Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr. David, you said you can't believe they suspended NASCAR. You were supposed to go tomorrow to the race in Atlanta. Yeah, I think they're going to, well, they have virtually suspended everything, and what hasn't been suspended yet probably will be soon. Even closing down Broadway. I mean, here they've closed down our schools. They're asking, that's number 650. They've closed down our senior centers. They've, of course, like everywhere else, said no large gatherings. It closed off visitation for hospitals and prisons and nursing homes and all that kind of stuff. And now they came out today and said that they're going to ask all the hospitals to reschedule or postpone any elective surgery that they have on the schedule so that the staff is available to take care of, coronavirus situations. And they came out and said they're going to close down the senior centers and all the daycare centers. That's to 999. It's Casey Mize for the Tigers. And there's a little Javi Baez, and Javi was numbered also to 999. And, of course, they just keep preaching social distancing, stay 6 feet away from everybody. Everybody that doesn't live in your house, don't get within 6 feet of them. That's the idea. So, yeah, I'm sure whatever's left that hasn't been canceled, and I really can't even think what that would be at this point, but if there is something, it probably is going to get canceled soon. Anthony Kay for the Toronto Blue Jays. So Toronto does have an autograph, just maybe not quite the guy you were hoping for out of here so far. Anyway. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it all plays out. At least we're going to be able to watch horse racing. They are going to have that. You just can't attend it live but you can watch it on television and I guess wager on it too. So I guess that's what I will be doing for, I don't know, the rest of the month. Since there's nothing else on, who knows? Jay Allen, you said the XFL is far superior to AAF and they have some really good talent. I know they have the one kid, one quarterback that everybody's been talking about that's done quite well. 349, Rizzo. And I can't remember the guy's name, but I read about him virtually every game. It seems like he was doing something good. And then you get some people like poor, what's his head that used to back up my Steelers? Why can't I think of his name? No. That's not right. Sanchez for the Miami Marlins is our autograph hit. Landry, there you go. That's his name. I started to say Landon. I'm like, that's not right. Anyway, so Landry was, I guess, just playing horribly. He used to be the backup quarterback for the Steelers, and I think they had to bench him. I think he was so bad that they've actually had to bench him in the XFL, and he was never quite that bad when he was with the Steelers, but I guess he is now. So they have some QBs that are good and some that are not, but that's probably true of the NFL as well. But of course, it's Andrew Luck's daddy that runs the thing. So I'm not surprised that they've got a nice operation. You would expect him to know what he's doing, and he does. And they've had some fun, innovative ideas. And who knows, maybe some of that carries over to the NFL. And maybe somewhere along the way they do end up being sort of a farm system for the NFL. I think that's what they want to do. That's what they want to be. Let kids who are younger than the current age enter the NFL draft, come play for a year or two in the XFL, and then make the jump instead of stopping off at college, I guess, is the idea. That sort of thing. So I don't know. Gina, you guys still have school? Oh, okay. We don't. And yes, we do have cases in Kentucky. I think right now they said we have, I think they said 16 in Kentucky, but they really believe that we have a lot more because they are only testing certain people who they think are highly likely to have it and to need medical care. Because some people who have it, I guess, don't really get really sick. They can just spread it, but they don't really need medical intervention, if you will. So evidently, because we are so short on testing kits, as is everybody else, it's not just us, they think that there are lots and lots more people who do have it, because doctors have called and asked to have their patients tested, and they have a discussion with whoever, the health department person or whatever, and then that person either says yes or no. In fact, our first confirmed case was a young woman who worked at a Walmart in the bakery, no less. Yeah, right. And she went into the hospital sick, and they asked to test her, and they were told no, they couldn't test her. So she got released from the hospital. She went home. She got a lot worse. She went back to the hospital a day or two later, and they still refused to allow her to be tested. But the local hospital thought that she probably had it, so they isolated her anyway, and then they transferred her to a hospital here where I live, and they tested her finally when she got here, and she did in fact have it. So it's like that kind of stuff. So they think there are tons more people that really actually do or have had it and just haven't been tested. So I think that's the other reason they're just really swinging the pendulum to just shut things down around here. Greg Maddox, and I managed to put him in the sleeve upside down. That is numbered to 25, and let's try this again and see if I can't get him in there the correct way for the Atlanta Braves, our relic. David, you said you'll take that autograph, but it's not Bo. I know. You want Bo. I don't blame you. I would want that too if I had your team. We have got ourselves a 1-of-1 printing plate. It is Goldie for the Cardinals, Paul Goldschmidt. Keeping in mind, of course, that printing plates are used in the actual making of the card. So they will most certainly have scratches, marks. They sometimes have letters, numbers, other imprints on them. I've seen them with staining and pitting. I've seen them bent. I've seen just about everything you can see out of them. Because, well, they're workhorses, so they don't come out all minty mint and perfect, but that's part of their charm. So if you have the St. Louis Cardinals, you can officially add a 1-of-1 to your tally for the night with your Paul Goldschmidt printing plate. Aristides Aquino for my Cincinnati Reds, numbered to 25. So whoever's got the Reds tonight, congrats. Nice Aquino to 25. Another USA Baseball. And Jay Allen, you're reminding me that you need some mojo for the Orioles and the Rockies. All right, my friend. Orioles and Rockies. I'm going to do my best here. Say Dominators insert. And what's that number to? 349, I think it said, for Josh Bell and the Pirates. It's hard for me to read some of those numbers when they're in a pattern. It's a long story, but my eyes got messed up in some eye surgery, and I have difficulty at certain ranges. And also, when stuff's in patterns like that, I can't read it as well. I know, right? So sometimes if I say something's 349 and you look at it and you see it's 399, well, that's why. That's what would be happening. I try to catch it, but every once in a while it sneaks up on me. Gina, you've got 4 cases confirmed where you are. Yeah, I guess what they're kind of the working theory is if you've got any confirmed cases, it's probably been around and just been undetected up to this point because it's people that have gotten a mild or a milder case that didn't require them to get medical care, or that they got medical care and didn't get approval to be tested or whatever. Cole Tucker and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, I don't know. They're kind of talking like we can expect things to be like this at least through April and maybe longer. So, we're about to have the longest drought of no sports in the U.S. maybe ever. I mean, other than horse racing, I guess, there is that. You can't go watch it, though, but you can watch it on television, so at least better than having nothing, I guess, to watch. And I do enjoy it. It's not a thing I would normally watch all day long or anything like that, but be some stuff to turn on from time to time and maybe place a few wagers. Maybe I'll get rich, and maybe you all will too. Maybe we'll hit a pick 6 or something. Who knows? Where's our numbering on this? Oh, off to the side. See, I lost it on there. That was Dustin May for the Dodgers. It was numbered to 999. Another hollow foil. Another little blank dummy card. JP, you said go Reds. All right, you got the Reds tonight, JP. I love my Cincinnati Reds. Even though we've been really bad for an extended period of time, I still love them. To 75, there is a Zach Collins coming out for the White Sox. And somebody's hanging on to the back of it. That's why I like to flip them over. People like to hitch a ride and not tell you sometimes when that comes up to those blank dummy cards. Kiko, you need the Royals in here. All right, we need to find a little love for Kansas City for you. Well, now this looks to be interesting. Oh, it's not going to be autographed, though. I was thinking, there for a minute, I thought, ooh, this could be autographed. It's going to be nice. It's not autographed. But we do have multiple teams on it. Jose Altuve for the Astros, Mike Trout Angels, Chris Davis A's, Joey Gallo Rangers, Dan Vogelbach Mariners. So that little bad boy will also go up here into our housekeeping areas because we'll have to use random.org to figure out which one of those teams ends up getting that card when it's all said and done. Headed to the Cubbies, it is Alzolay, well, whatever. Anyway, it's the Cubbies. It's an autograph, and it's headed your way if you've got Chicago. We've got 3 boxes left, so we are 5 down, 3 to go in our half case break tonight. So I saw that Trevor Bauer, who's, well, rather outspoken. That's the nice way to say it, right? Used to play for the Indians, now plays for the Reds. So I guess he is organizing some sort of a sandlot type pickup baseball game with the people who stayed at spring training who want to participate. Because, of course, MLB gave the players the option to leave and go home, I guess, if they didn't want to stay there for spring training at this point. So a lot of players stayed and a lot of players left. But anyway, Bauer stayed. And I think somebody originally texted him or tweeted him or something and gave him the idea that he wanted to start this sandlot type pickup game. And he says the deal is that everybody who participates in it has to agree to be mic'd up so that you can hear everything they say from start to finish in this game. And apparently the only place you're going to be able to watch it is on Trevor Bauer's media channels. So his YouTube, his Instagram, and he listed 3. YouTube, Instagram, and something else is where you could get information about it. You have to sign up for one of his feeds because he says he won't announce anything else about it except through his feeds. So that might be something fun to watch on YouTube, I guess, live streaming. Could be his Trevor Bauer's little sandlot game, but I guess we all have to go sign up for subscribe to his channel or whatever to get the notification, or join his Twitter or something. That sounds like it might be fun. Anyway. Hi, Craig. We have not seen any Yordan Alvarez, at least. I mean, there may have been some base. I haven't been paying attention to that, or some parallels of some sort. But we haven't seen any Yordan of any significance. How about that? That's the right way to say it. Because I don't often pay a lot of attention to what's on the base, or who's on the base, rather. Not until sorting, anyway. And then we have to take a bit better look at some of that stuff. But in the break, usually, especially in a product like this with so many cards in it, I don't pay that much attention to it. But I don't think you're asking about the base anyway. I think you want to know if you've had anything major, and unfortunately, the answer is not yet. It was to 500 for the Mets with Thor. Genesis Cabrera for St. Louis. So, there you go. Cardinals. A little autograph there with Cabrera. So, I don't know. I might have to go subscribe to Bauer's, one of his feeds, because honestly, I wouldn't mind watching that pickup game on YouTube. I mean, there's 9 other sports on to watch, and it'd probably be kind of funny since the guys are mic'd up. because he says that's the only way that he'll let them play. That's a condition of playing in his pickup game, that you have to agree to be Mike the whole time. To $9.99, Rizzo. I mean, good grief, you could almost see, with all the lack of sporting events, you could almost see ESPN like going, yeah, Trevor Bauer, we'll give you some money. Just let us broadcast it. You know they won't, but you could almost imagine something like that happening. They'd be so desperate for live sports programming. They'll be covering Scrabble tournaments before long. $3.49, Rizzo again. Of course, I guess you couldn't even really have a Scrabble tournament because you'd have to sit within 6 feet of your opponent. So I guess you couldn't even have that. So I don't know. Another one of our USA baseballs. We've got quite a little stack of those up there at the moment. So what we'll do with those when the time comes is use random.org to determine whether it's going to go to the veteran side of the card or the prospect side of the card. So basically front or back. And if it goes to the prospect side of the card, we would then use random.org and decide what team was going to get that whole stack of them, because generally speaking, those guys on the front are not going to have been drafted yet. So those would go together as one group if it landed on the prospect side. If, however, random landed on the veteran or the back side of the card, then obviously we would go to their current teams. Numbered to 500, and another one with just really massive peeling. So I'm sure there are plenty more that have had minimal issues that I haven't called out because I haven't noticed as we've gone along. That's to 100, Keston Hiura for the Brewers. But the ones that are very bad that I notice as we go, I certainly try to point out. There's a Now Playing to $9.99. That was a Yordan Alvarez, as a matter of fact, coming out for the Astros. But you know, the one thing that is kind of funny, it's in a way, about the fact that there's no NCAA tournament is every single team could say, oh, we would have won that thing. We absolutely had the championship team. There's no doubt in my mind we would have won the tournament, no matter who they are. Anybody who could have reasonably expected to make the field can say that. Kyle Schwarber comes out for the Cubbies. In fact, I think our coach, Calipari, said something to that effect to the media, talking about how much he liked this team and how he's going to miss coaching them, et cetera, et cetera. And he says, oh, yeah, like I had the championship team. I know I did. We were going to win the whole thing. It's to 249, Fernando Tatis and the Padres. So within, I'm going to say probably less than a day after Cal made those remarks, somebody locally printed up some t-shirts that were basically like, yeah, we would have won it all. We were going to win it all. And I just thought that was brilliant. So technically, every team can walk away and say, hey, I could have been the national champion for the year. So for the 2019-20 basketball season. So I think we should all just wear t-shirts that say that. What do you think? I think we should. Could have won it all. Of course, Rudy Gobert has been in a lot of hot water because Well, of course, he was the first NBA player that came down with coronavirus, but in the day or two before he was actually diagnosed, I guess he was just being a big jerk about the whole thing and kind of making light of it, as in he didn't think it was a big deal before he came down with it. And so at a press conference, right at the end of it, he made a point to go touch every single microphone, and he touched every recorder that a reporter had laid upon the table and all that kind of stuff, just as a way to kind of say, up yours, you know. And then, of course, he comes down with it a couple days later. So he looks like a big you-know-what now. And then Donovan Mitchell caught it, presumably from Rudy Gobert. And so then everybody was up in arms saying how careless Rudy had been in the locker room and that he kept touching everybody's stuff and more, just kind of more of the same of what he did in the press conference. So he's been getting absolutely roasted. And I believe I saw that he just made a really large donation, maybe even like several $100,000. I didn't click into the article, just saw the headline. But I'm assuming that it's to help pay some of the workers that would have been at the facility for the Jazz. Because I know a lot of the other places are doing that. I mean, Zion is paying a lot of the workers' salaries there in New Orleans. I think the Golden State Warriors collectively as a team kicked in money, and maybe even from the higher-ups as well as the players, to make sure that all those people got paid. Because, you know, you're talking about ushers and ticket takers and concession workers, security, janitors. I mean, there's a lot of people that go into that. It's to $9.99 that all of a sudden have their livelihoods taken out from under them for the foreseeable future. So I thought it was really good for guys to do that. It's to 100 Brandon Crawford. So I guess Rudy has been kind of shamed into adding some money to that to that cause. So, and he should be, idiot. I mean, come on, everybody knows better than what he did. It's to 165 Corey Kluber, Rangers. It's another one I can't get used to. Corey Kluber being our Texas Ranger. Greg, you said Logan Allen is the only prospect side of the USA set that's with the team. Yeah, I mean, that's why we're kind of doing it as a group for the USA cards. If it lands on the prospect side of it, when we do random, it's just going to be the whole group goes together to one team, however it would come up in random. If, of course, it landed on the veteran side of the card, then we would naturally distribute it to the relevant active teams for whatever veteran happens to be on there. So, and I could have listed a spot for USA Baseball, but I was really torn about doing it because of the fact that you've got veteran guys on the back, and I felt like legitimately that if you had one of those guys that you kind of had a claim to it, even though they're in a Team USA uniform, you still kind of had a claim to it. So I don't know, I just decided to do it this other way. So Nick Solak for the Texas Rangers autograph. And once I had done it like this out of the first case, I didn't really think I should change it for subsequent cases. So here we are. Cleveland Indians, that's numbered to 50 with Jose Ramirez. Or 59, sorry guys, 59, not 50. It's another example of one that just wasn't quite the way I thought it was when I saw it up a little closer. A Dominator insert for the Oakland A's. It was numbered to 99. Jay Allen, this break depressed you? Oh, man, I'm sorry. Because I was talking about all the non-sports that we're going to have. I know, that is depressing. I mean, it is weird to think about that we're going to have nothing to watch. Nothing. in terms of sports. That's just never happened. That just has it. I don't think it's ever happened. Not since there's been television and sports anyway. So there's a Joe Adell. He's a nice prospect for the Angels. That was numbered to 999. So yeah, it is a little depressing that we have no sports. That makes me unhappy too. So these are all cubbies. We don't have to worry about sorting that one out using random because all the players are on the same team on that one. Which is how they've been in the past too. This is the first one we've pulled that had multiple teams on a card like that. So I don't think those come out quite as often, even though they may not be numbered particularly. They're not super common, I don't believe. Because I think we would have found more if they were. That's just my thought on it. Oh, you said I didn't depress you. Okay. Panini depressed you because you're not getting hits. Okay. See, I was thinking you're telling me I depressed you. I'm like, well, I could see that. It is depressing not to have sports. I am bummed about it. Ohtani and the Angels to 349. I mean, my mom called me earlier today and she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. She's like, I'm so used to March Madness, and she really loves it too. It's her favorite time of the year is March Madness. And she says, I don't know what I'm going to do. She goes, I guess I'm just going to have to sit here and read a book. So, well, maybe. I don't know. Nolan Arenado and the Colorado Rockies with a relic. And my dad, of course, my dad is just a sports junkie. He's worse than anybody in my family. And I called him the other day and I'm like, Dad, what are you going to do? He goes, I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to find some cowboy movies to watch. Like, all right, sports or cowboy movies, one or the other. I don't know. Yeah, fortunately for my dad, my stepmother, she likes sports too, which is a good thing. Because, I mean, that's all that Dad ever has on his television is some kind of game. It doesn't matter. It can be any sport, including golf. He used to golf a lot, so he likes to even watch it. And he just always has sports on. I don't know if I've ever seen him watch anything but sports in the last few years. When I was younger, when I was real young, he used to watch other stuff too, but as he's gotten older, that's all I ever see him watching. So I figure he's going to be up a creek too. But hey, if you have Disney Plus, those of you who have that, I have it because I wanted to watch The Mandalorian. I'm a bit of a Star Wars geek. So they announced that Frozen 2, which was not supposed to be on Disney Plus for another 3 or 4 months, they're actually putting it on there starting tomorrow so that people have stuff to watch while they're quarantined at home and whatnot, and kids not in school, etc. So I thought that was nice. And now we've got our first case here of coronavirus where the person refuses to be quarantined, right? Can you imagine? So they were at wherever, doctor's office, hospital, wherever, and got diagnosed, tested positive. Then they left against medical advice. So the whoever, doctor or hospital, didn't want them to leave, but they did leave. And then they were told that they had to self-quarantine for the 14 days. And they said no. It's a man. That's all we know is that it's a man. And the man said no, he would not self-quarantine. He wasn't going to do it. And so the governor has police stationed outside the guy's house to make sure that he does not and cannot leave his home. Now, is that not crazy? Who would do that? Who would say, no, I absolutely refuse your medical care. I came here to be diagnosed, but now that I know what I have, oh, no, thanks. I don't want to be treated, and I'd like to spread it to everyone. Thank you very much. So yes, sir, they have posted police outside of his house, where apparently they are going to remain for the next 14 days so that the guy cannot leave his house. How crazy is that? I mean, that's just a hot mess. Hot mess. All right, number 225. Hey, Mike Yastrzemski. I like that kid too. I like a lot of our young players right now. The Giants. I like Yastrzemski. Jay Allen, you said back when you were engaged before you dodged a bullet, you spent a lot of time in Augusta, and they go nuts around Masters time, and you think there are probably a lot of scalpers upset. Oh, can you imagine right now if you're a ticket broker or a scalper? Yeah, a ticket broker in particular, the inventory you would have had for March Madness and the Masters and all of the other things that have been canceled, and you just have to eat that inventory, I imagine. That is Louis Robert for the White Sox, and it is numbered 225. And I know that was it Betsy that's been after that, and I don't know if she has the White Sox tonight or not, but she's had them in our other breaks, and that's exactly who she's been looking for. So I don't know if she has them tonight or not, but I hope she does. But yeah, if you're a ticket broker, you might just be out of luck, because most of these places are going to process refunds to the original purchaser and back to the original purchaser's form of payment. And of course, the original purchaser would have been the ones that have already sold it to the scalpers or the ticket brokers, if you have one that's legally operating in your area. Some people do, some don't. So yeah, they might end up having gotten their money from selling it to a ticket broker and getting a refund for their purchase price from the venue. Wouldn't that be something? That one was numbered to 999 for the Dodgers. I hadn't really thought about that until just now, but there are a lot of ticket brokers that have generally a lot of inventory. So I bet they are really up a creek. Betsy, you are here. Did you just get here? Do you have the White Sox? Did you just see that card? I just mentioned your name not 5 minutes ago, like 2 minutes ago, like 3 minutes ago. Did you hear what I said? Did you see it? Yes, I am going to recap to answer your question, but I want to know that first. That was Moncada to 249. I want to know if you got here before or after I mentioned your name. So you do have the White Sox, so you must not, I mean, I literally just mentioned your name, what, guys? 60 seconds ago. Look what you got. I got to stop and show her this, guys. I'm sorry. She has been chasing this, and I have to show it to her, even though it's before the recap. So look at that. Woohoo! And it's numbered to 25. It finally paid off, Betsy. All your patience and your hard work finally paid off. Cleveland Indians with Aaron, I say his name wrong too, Savali, whatever. How about that, Betsy? Right? You like it now. I knew you would. You got here just in time, because that is the last thing that we had pulled before I looked over and saw you in chat. And I had quite literally had just said, man, I hope that Betsy has the White Sox tonight, because she's had them in all the other breaks and she's chasing that card. And I said, man, I hope she has them tonight. And it's 60 seconds later you pop in. So perfect timing. Here is Aristides Aquino. It is numbered to 999 for the Cincinnati Reds. And let's see what else we can find up here in our last little bit. Let's see, what did you tell me there? You've purchased 3 and a number and 1 to 99, but it's the first 1 to 25 that you've seen. Good. Yay. So we did something good for you. I was excited when we got it and thinking that it might be yours, because I knew you'd been wanting it. All right, another USA baseball up there. And one stack remains out of our thousands of cards that we have looked at tonight. We are in the home stretch, believe it or not. We've got a relic for Miggy and the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera, Detroit Tigers relic. It looks like a piece of the baseball bat, and it is numbered to 99. So that was to 500, that last little hollow foil there that we saw. And cruising on towards the end here, we might have another interesting thing or two to look at. But I've got to tell you, this has been an exceptionally good half case, in my opinion. This is numbered to 50, and it's for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jordan Hicks. I've been pretty jazzed with our hits all the way back since box number 2. I mean, they did short us one hit out of box number 1, but honestly, I think they kind of made up for it with all the other stuff we've hit tonight. So I don't ever like them to short us on hits, but I do really like the stuff they gave us tonight. Now, we do have a little bit of housekeeping to do, so of course we're going to handle that little task or two before we recap, but we are, of course, going to do a recap in just a few minutes. So let's first deal with our Team USA cards. So again, what we've got is veteran players on the back. You know it's the back because you see the little Panini logo back there. And we have prospect players on the front. And for the most part, our prospect players have not yet been drafted or signed to teams. So we can't really just say, oh, this is what's going to happen. So what we're going to do is do random. First, to figure out where it's going to go. To the prospect side or to the veteran player side. So in other words, the front is the prospect, the back is the veteran player. If it goes to the veteran player, it's easy. It's just going to go to their current team and we move on. If it goes to the front of the card, which is the prospect part, then we'll have to run random again as a 30-team random to find out who gets that whole group of Team USA cards. Did that make sense? Probably it didn't, but maybe it will after you see it happen. I hope, anyway. I hope it does. All right, so here's how it works. When I do random and we have fewer than 10 items in a list, which obviously we have fewer than 10 here, I do random 3 different times. First 2 don't count. Third and final random makes the decision. So you ignore the first random, ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. 3 times, date and time stamp. It goes to the back side of the card with the veteran player on it. Okay, so that gives us Stroman and Trout, Matt Chapman, Steven Strasburg, Verlander, Garrett Cole, of course, who's now a Yankee, and Chris Bryant for the Cubs. So that's how those are going to go. Current teams for all of those veteran players. Now we have this little baby here, and got several different teams on it. Astros, Angels, the A's, the Rangers, and the Mariners. So I'm going to type them in the order that they appear there on the card. And we're just basically going to rinse and repeat because once again, we've got fewer than 10 items. We will be doing random 3 different times. And the third one will be the one that tells the story of where that card goes. All right, what did I say? Astros, Angels, A's, Rangers. And who's the other one? Mariners. All right, so here we go, guys. Ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. There's 3 times. Our date and time stamp. It goes to the Oakland A's. All right, so the Oakland A's are going to get this little card right here. And how fitting, because their player's in the center on that card. So, what are the odds, right? I tell you what, I'm going to, if I can lay my hands on the right size one. Why are all these the thick ones? All right, well, I guess I don't have I thought I had an open pack of regular top loaders sitting next to me, but I guess I don't. I've only got bigger sizes sitting next to me. So what I'm going to do is just write it on the back of the sleeve. And that way I will remember where it goes, and I've got to get up and get top loaders right after I turn off this feed anyway, because I got to get all this stuff ready to go. Now we're going to recap it. We had a 1-of-1 printing plate for the St. Louis Cardinals with Paul Goldschmidt. And remember, please, everybody, that it's going to have signs of wear and usage. It was actually used to make the card. Then we have Albert Pujols and the Whammy. That is generally considered a case hit, although Panini technically does not call it as such. It generally does come out once per case. Every once in a while, you might find an extra one, and every once in a while, you might not find one at all. But in general, that's how it falls. Numbered to 50, that was the St. Louis Cardinals. To 25, you've got the San Francisco Giants. This is numbered to 50 for the Cleveland Indians, or I'm sorry, 59. Not 50, but 59 on that last one. To 100 for the Giants. The Brewers to 100. That is numbered to 75, Zach Collins for the White Sox. Numbered to 25, Aquino for the Reds. Another one to 100, Bumgarner and the Diamondbacks. There's a Buster Posey to 100 for San Francisco. This is numbered to 75 for the Diamondbacks and numbered to 25 for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, there's tons of other numbered cards you saw as we went through, but I just tried to set aside those that were numbered essentially to 75 or less. Except, well, obviously, I did set aside the ones numbered to straight up 100 for whatever reason. So anyway, we recapped a few extra ones. No big deal. And then all the others that are numbered, we're not going to recap because there's, well, a lot, and they're mostly high numbered. All right, Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers, a relic numbered to 99. Nolan Arenado and the Colorado Rockies. Greg Maddux for the Braves, numbered to 25. Tatis Jr. for the Padres. Verlander comes out, Astros, and Mookie makes an appearance for the Boston Red Sox. Those are our relics for tonight. As you probably remember, we didn't have all of our hits in the first box. We were missing a hit. So anyway, I don't know if it was a relic or an autograph that we were missing out of box number 1, but I theorized that it was probably a relic because we did hit 2 autographs out of the first one. Cleveland Indians have an autograph. And there's that sweet little Robert for Betsy, numbered to 25 for the White Sox. I know that she likes that card. And then Solak for the Texas Rangers. Cubbies and Schwarber. Cabrera and the St. Louis Cardinals. Next up is Alzolay, another one for the Cubbies. Here come the Pittsburgh Pirates with an autograph. That was Cole Tucker. Sanchez for the Miami Marlins. The Blue Jays don't go home entirely empty-handed. You have an Anthony Kay. Of course, nobody's going home truly empty-handed because, well, yeah, there's other stuff. You got all those other cards coming, too. Matt, I say his last name incorrectly. I'm just going to call him Matt T for the Angels. And Betsy, I forgot you hit this. You also have an Eloy numbered to 99, an Eloy Jimenez. Also for your White Sox. I completely forgot that was in there so far back. And then this, my favorite card, like maybe ever, out of Donruss Baseball. A Dream Team Ken Griffey Jr. hard-signed on-card autograph for the Mariners. The Recollection Collection this is. You can see it stamped on there. How sweet is that? I love that card. Love, love, love that card. Then we have J.P. Crawford. That is also the Seattle Mariners, like as if you needed anything after Ken Griffey Jr. Max Fried for the Atlanta Braves, and then a little Patrick Sandoval for the Angels. So there you go. Not too bad for our half case of Donruss baseball. I cannot wait to see what comes out in the second half. Like, is it going to be that good? It might be. I like it. Dax Kinsey, you're going to get something graded, you said. I did not look over in time to see which one it was, but at any rate, I'm glad that we found something that you like well enough to get graded. So I'm glad for that. Kiko, I know we didn't find you a Bobby Witt Jr., did we? I'm sorry about that, man. We'll have to try and fire up the mojo for you again next time then. And guys and gals, I guess that's about it for our live break. I am going to put up the spreadsheet information one more time. So those of you who might have jumped in late, if you want to know when you can expect your item to ship, it is coming your way right now. So this takes a while, this break, to sort and ship. A lot longer than you would think, and certainly a lot longer than I thought, frankly. So as such, I am not projecting it to get out the door until Wednesday. Now, I may be able to get it out the door faster than that, and of course, if I can, I absolutely will. And if something unexpected comes up, which does happen at times, it could even slide a day later. That's why I always say plus or minus a day on there. But right now I'm thinking probably Wednesday is when it will get out the door. We certainly hope anyway. Next up, this is what it looks like in the days ahead. So tomorrow night we're starting just a slight bit later than normal, 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. We're going to open a case of impeccable basketball. So it's going to be a quick break, 30 minutes in and out and done, but a fun one because impeccable, well, it's awesome. On Monday, we will open a 20-box master case of Panini One football. On Tuesday, it will be a half case of Heritage baseball, and that is going to be the back half of a case, apparently. No. Start of a new case. I had to think about that a minute. Oh, my gosh. I must be I'm getting crazy now. So, no, it's the start of a new case for Heritage. Then on Wednesday, it is a case of Leaf Draft Football Premium Hobby Blasters. It's got 60 hits in it. There are 3 autographs per box. They are packaged separately. So what we will do is open each blaster box, take out the pack that has the 3 autographs, look at our 60 hits. Then we're not going to open all the other packs because they're just full of base cards. Instead, I'm going to count out a bunch of packs for every team and then send you the sealed packs if you have a team in there. So there you go. That's how we're going to do that. And spots are sold by the first letter of the last name because, of course, the kids haven't been drafted yet. On Thursday night, we're going to do the back half of this case of Donruss that we started tonight. So that is what it looks like in the days ahead. And let me see if I missed anything over here in chat or not. And, the Fathead is yours. So you have the A's. Okay. Yeah, man, that's a cool card. So it's always tough in this product to get them graded when they're hollow foil just because of the reasons that we spoke about. But this one I think looked like it was in pretty good order as far as I didn't really see much peeling on it or any peeling on it that I caught when we looked at it the first time. So hopefully there isn't any peeling on it and that sort of thing. So it is a very cool card, man. I like it. All right, that's it for me tonight. Thanks again, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. And if I don't see you tomorrow night for Impeccable Basketball, I hope you will come back and see me soon. We'll be opening lots of basketball, baseball, and football in the days ahead. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye now.